Hello and welcome back. Once again, it is time for the golden age of DC Comics 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me by one of my best friends about 2 decades ago. This book has been surfing my coffee table ever since, and it's a great excuse to bring up comic book conversations, the kind that we used to have in the comic book shops on any given Wednesday, or any day, hopefully, and you can have them here right now with me and you and us. Isn't that great? This is a 2004 Abrams publication, written and curated by Geoff Spear, Chip Kidd, and Les Daniels. There is a link to the Amazon page in the description, so get yourself your own copy. It will look great on your coffee table, and it makes a great gift for a geek. I know. I use this book for its intended purpose. I crack it open to today's date. It's a 365 days book. So open up to today's date. We're going to look at some comic book art from an antediluvian age, and then we're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. The golden age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age begins in 1956 until 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby, from 1970 until 1985. And the Copper Age begins in 1985. And I hope you're doing wonderful today. Let me wet my whistle. I have a piping hot cup of Honduran Pacavita Organic. It's a medium roast. It's got hints of dark chocolate, apple, and cane sugar. And it was roasted just a couple of weeks ago. Keep grinding, yeah. Look at this beautiful, Dell's got great packaging and great coffee. Yeah, can you get that? There we go. Check that out. Yeah, I love the font. It reminds me of Star Trek, the motion picture in Star Trek. I love that font. This is a wonderful packaging. Oh, wow, a hot cup of coffee. Ooh, that really cuts through. Wets my whistle. Alrighty. I like to start off the show with something also that matters a lot to me. This is called the Escapism Caveat. It's about activism and activists. And activists are very important. They're literally trying to save the world. The world's in trouble, and the people and living things on it need help. There's, nothing wrong with that. Prima facie, it's well intended, and it's, I support it and I respect it. But it also has a very dark side, a big shadow. They turn into bullies. Especially when they don't get their way, because they need to use our fandoms and spaces to disseminate their messaging. So I believe that something is equally important to activism. It's called escapism. We need to forget the world's problems just for a few moments. So activism is really intruded into, activists have their own space and their own place, and it's just, maybe they don't feel like that's effective enough. Maybe that's not enough. And so they needed to invade, like my comic book fandom, TV fandom, publishing, sports, gaming, churches. I mean, these are places where you go to leave behind the world's problems. And especially in church, it's not fiction. That's about spirituality. That's about worrying about your soul. And but escapism is very important. We can be someone else for a few moments. We can be a gangster. We can be a space pirate. We could be an undersea adventurer. We can get lost in the game. We can be lost in a game. We can be asking God for our forgiveness, for their forgiveness, or her forgiveness. I think God's a woman, but that's beyond that. It's activism these days it's a lot like an intellectual and cultural colonialism. I'm huge into history, so I see this as the conquistadors of Spain bringing Christianity to Mesoamerica, or the British Empire bringing Britannia into India, the subcontinent, or such as Japan invading mainland China and annexing that territory, or the Mongols, or, throughout history you have invaders and coming into pre-existing spaces that already had a population. These populations had a culture, they had mores, they had a group history, a group behavior, and group expectations. Now, in come an invading force, and it insist and demand that their way is the only way. And if you don't accept these new rules, you are an othered and you are a savage. Okay, this is just historical. I mean, I'm looking at this as history. Now it's an allegory for activism. Okay? And I see the pieces fit because I watched them fall away. Indeed, that's a Tool reference, and we're going to get back to the matter at hand. I got a great one for you today. It's July the 28th, and we're going to talk about girls. It's summertime, girls. It's summertime. It's July the 28th. How are you doing? I hope you are doing awesome. I hope you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. There is a choice to be made. Clobber your problems. Make that choice. Don't be clobbered by them. Don't be bullied by anyone, by activists, or don't be bullied by your internal or external. Come to terms and do it. Yes, I believe in that spirit. Aha! Let's get to it. It's July the 28th. This is story by William Moulton Marston's. Art by Frank Goodwin from Sensation Comics number 19, July of 1943. It's Wonder Woman being wonderful. Do 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 do. Wakachoo, wakachoo, wakachoo. Wonder Woman. All the world is waiting for you and the magic you possess. Do 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 do. Yeah, huh? You feeling it? You feeling it? I am. Ha! All right. I can't wait for the train to start. I have a feeling something may be happening to Aunt Pinky. Oh boy, you jump higher than a kangaroo. That's a kid's voice. Hey, we got matching hats, me and the kid. Wonder Woman, you can give me a lift any day. Hi. Look me up. Let's read this blurb and then let's get to it. We may never know when little Bobby acquired his experience on the backs of jumping kangaroos, but apparently it was nothing compared to the thrill of riding to the rescue on a barebacked Wonder Woman. I'm reading this. We have that means without a saddle. Dirty-minded. This is one of the few early stories about the Amazon princess that wasn't drawn by her regular artist, Harry G. Peter, who apparently fell behind for a few issues until he could hire some assistants. Yeah. There we go. Beautiful. Diana of Themyscira. And I wanted to take this day to talk about the Golden Age Wonder Woman as this outstanding representation of womankind, femininity, and independent women, like the real, the heartfelt and smart, the uncynical feminism, the first and second wave feminism. This came out 15. This is 1946, so this is a little bit 20 years after suffrage, that women's right to vote in the United States of America. This Wonder Woman had a great B story, full of friends. She left one island of sisterhood to go actually join another in a different culture as kind of like an exchange student in a way. Diana found herself at Holiday College. And Holiday College was the setting for the science-driven stories, and it was nearby at Starvard, a Portmanteau of Stanford and Harvard. Was a different. It was another college that was nearby, and that's where the creators, the Moulton Marston and his wife and his girlfriend, they were huge into Harvard, professors, doctors. the early days of psychology. There's the stories of the creators of Wonder Woman are its own story. But I wanted to highlight Etta Candy and the Holiday Girls. Do you know about Etta Candy? Do you know who the Holiday Girls are? Let me tell you. Etta Candy is Diana's best friend. She is plus sized. She's body positive. She always has been. She's got a sweet tooth. She's sassy. She's fierce. She's strong, stunning, and brave. And she's a beautiful, thick gal. I mean, yeah, I like thick gals. Seriously. And she's a pint-sized powerhouse. She's petite, thick, and she's got a lot going on. And Etta Candy and she was really well represented in the first Wonder Woman movie as well with Gal Gadot. Etta's in that movie. That's wonderful. But these Golden Age stories, well, remember, comic books were made for boys. Only so true. I mean, comics were made for anyone willing to read them. And Wonder Woman stories were just on its own. They were subversive. And they were feminist. And they were progressive. And they did have sly introductions of different high-minded, highfalutin ideas of sexuality and of dominance roles. The whole thing was written by a psychologist who did his whole thing was about power dynamics and gender roles and about submissive and dominant, roles. This is like really deep end of the pool stuff. I love talking about Golden Age Wonder Woman. There's so much there. And then what I would consider is, we have this whole modern thing of comics of girls first, and there are just a lot of men's roles are sacrificed to make lady roles look, better. I mean, I know it's out there, and it's they're not selling well, I guess. I don't know. What I do know is that there have always been strong women, and what I love most are these Holiday Girls. The Holiday Girls are a sorority at Holiday College where Diana's hanging out, and that's where Etta Candy is the sorority. She's like, I think this Etta Candy might even be the house head or something like that. But there are so many members of the Holiday Girls. They have the sorority named Beta Lambda Sorority at Holiday College. And so these are all the girls that you see in the background of Wonder Woman's adventures when they're all in peril. But guess what? This is actually really healthy and really fun, in my humble opinion, because these are all young women, college girls. All right, let's go down the list of their names. There's a list of names here. Like, I didn't know there were so many. There was Betty, Brenda, Dorothy Lord, Etta Candy, Eve Brown, Faith Alden, Gail Ossie, Glamora Treat, Hester, Janet Foster, Jean Townsend, Lida Little, Lori, Marcia, Marcy Young, Mary Lane, Patsy Peters, Selena, Bobby Strong, Ruth Rorick, Susan Tardy, Tina Toy, Thelma Tall, Tress Acker, Virginia True, and the twins, Millie and Tilly Heyday. These are all the girls that got into these adventures with Wonder Woman, got into extremely dangerous situations of peril, life-threatening. They were tied up, left for dead, or in quicksand pits, or to be trampled by bulls, or this and that. And Wonder Woman would always save them and return them safely to their college to advance themselves. I mean, but these were young women. All of these are women who had gone to college in 1942. They were single women, intelligent, all of just from different places with different stories. And they were beautiful, stunning, strong, and brave. And they were going on these adventures and surviving because they had a protector like Wonder Woman, but they were able to, to have and experience these dangerous experiences, and ultimately it can be it was an enriching experience, and that for me defines the whole thing of girls in comics. There's never been a dispute. There's never been any kind of toxicity or bullshit. I mean, there's always going to be jerks. That's life. But to say that, like, there's something going wrong right now and it needs to be corrected and fixed with activisms, no. We've always had Etta Candy. We've always had the Holiday Girls. Could things have been more diverse? Sure. They always can be. I mean, but to say that to respect this lore, to respect this history, and to want more of this is toxic and wrong and bad for. I'm not buying it. I really am not. And but yeah, I'm perpetually impressed by Etta Candy. I have a little crush on her. Yeah, I do. And the Holiday Girls too. I was literally raised in a house full of strong-willed Irish women. Yeah, by a single working mom and her sisters, her three sisters, my aunties, and my grandma, and my long-suffering grandpa. Irish, they're both of them. And but yeah, I grew up in a house full of women, just like this, with these different people, and there's always fighting, and there's just girls being girls. That exists, but that is the spirit of these Holiday Girls, and of Etta Candy, and of what Golden Age Wonder Woman brings to the table when we talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we will be picking up this conversation where we left off when we turn the page. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe. Please ring that bell. Put on the notifications. I would love to be part of your YouTube day. We make daily content here. I'm a chef. I talk about cooking. I'm an amateur theologian, an ordained minister. We talk about spirituality and gratitude. If the sky is clear and planets are out, I'm pointing out the planets we can see in our naked eye sky. And we got bunnies eating their breakfast. Come aboard, please. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And thank you for staying along this long today. Cheers. We will see you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.